In this place darkness seeps through the walls, where the lost souls linger, forever trapped in the chains of their own torment. Hidden within the cold streets of Philadelphia lies a grim monument to human suffering, Eastern State Penitentiary. Built in 1829, this imposing fortress was designed not just to punish, but to break the human spirit. And those who entered its stone walls often left only as shadows of themselves, or never left at all. With its revolutionary design based on isolation, prisoners were forced into total solitary confinement for months, even years. Here, men were driven mad by silence, darkness, and their own guilt. Today, Eastern State Penitentiary stands in ruin, but it is far from empty. Inside these cell blocks, prisoners were locked away in total isolation. For 23 hours a day, they sat in their small, stone tombs, no visitors, no communication, no sound, only their thoughts, and the faint screams of others losing their minds. It was here that many would begin to see things that weren't there, or worse, feel things that couldn't be explained. Visitors today report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread as they walk these halls. Some have heard the moans of prisoners long dead, their voices carried on the stale air. Others have felt cold hands brush against them, only to turn and find nothing there, nothing alive. Here lies cell 14D, known simply as the Hole. This tiny windowless room was used to break the most rebellious prisoners. Left in total darkness, with no bed, no light, and no hope, many were driven to madness. And yet, some believe something darker lingers here. Many visitors refuse to enter this cell. Some say they feel a weight, as if something is watching them, or worse, waiting for them. Shadows that seem too real, cold drafts that wrap around them like icy fingers. This is a place where sanity dies. Even the infamous gangster Al Capone could not escape the hauntings of Eastern State. During his time here, Capone was tormented by visions of a man he had helped murder. He would wake up screaming in the night, begging for forgiveness from a phantom he could not escape. Capone's cries for mercy were heard by guards and inmates alike, though no one could see what tormented him. Was it guilt, or something darker? Something drawn to Eastern State's energy of pain and despair? Death Row, where the most feared prisoners awaited their final judgment. Here, the atmosphere is thick with terror, as though the spirits of the condemned still linger, waiting for a reprieve that never came. Some say they've seen the figures of prisoners pacing in their cells, staring out through the bars, as though they are still awaiting their fate. Others claim to have felt hands clutching at their ankles, pulling them down, as if they're trying to drag them into the darkness. The Watchtower, a place of ultimate control, where guards once monitored the prisoners below. But some say the tower is now watched by something else. Visitors report seeing a shadowy figure in the windows, watching silently. A figure that disappears the moment you look directly at it. Is this the spirit of a former guard, or something far more sinister? Whatever it is, its cold, hollow gaze seems to follow every step you take. In the infirmary, death was a daily visitor. Patients lay in these rusted beds, their bodies broken and tortured by illness and neglect. Many prisoners died here, and their spirits are said to linger, trapped in the agony of their final moments. Visitors report hearing the sounds of wheezing breath and agonized groans. Some have even seen the figures of inmates lying in these beds, writhing in pain, and yet, no one is there. Nothing alive. Eastern State Penitentiary may stand in ruin, but the suffering it once held within its walls continues to resonate. The spirits of the broken, the tormented, and the forgotten still linger here, trapped in their eternal torment. And perhaps, if you listen closely enough, you'll hear them too. But be warned, once you enter, you may never leave.